Hi, my name is Soraya. See the description box for more info. I don't know, I'm trying something new. Anyway, this is what I see when I look at Jared Leto. Since the very first time I saw his face, he has unnerved me more than just about any other person I've ever seen. Like, immediately upon seeing his face, it was like, like I had like a visceral, like recoiling response of like, oh. The very first thought that comes to mind looking at him is that he's a psychopath. And I don't mean that he's crazy or like anything, like I mean the literal clinical definition of the term. I think he is a psychopath. A very highly functioning one, to be sure, but tell me I'm not the only one who picks up on this with him. I don't know what this means or what it could possibly mean, so I'm just going to describe what I see and maybe you guys can help me figure it out. So on the, like this side of his head right here, there's a big window looking in, and inside of the window, there is a room. Okay, stay with me. There's a room inside of his head, and there is a man. I don't know if it's a smaller version of himself or who that little man is, that is standing at the controls of controlling his body and brain. I don't know why he would have a little version of himself inside of his head like that. But it's probably connected to the psychopathy. I'm also picking up energetically that the back of his head is holding trauma. So I don't know if he has ever like fallen and hit his head really hard, or maybe he has plates back there. I don't know. But definitely some damage done to the back of his head at some point in his life. One of the things that's so frightening to me about him is not just like how handsome he is and how, you know, that alone is enough to draw people in, but look at his eyes. Like they look so shiny, at least in his picture, they look so shiny and they look so loving and looks like there's somebody there, right? Unless you look at them for longer than like 5 seconds and then you're like, hold up, there's something weird going on there. Okay. I was looking at his face and it literally morphed in front of my eyes. And I'm not talking like just with my spiritual eyes, like with my physical eyes. His face morphed into somebody else's face. I don't recognize the man. It's somebody who has very, very slightly darker skin than he does, maybe a little bit more olive toned. The person whose face it is has brown eyes, not blue eyes. His face is a little bit wider, and he also has scruffy facial hair, not quite as long as Jared's is in this picture, but like some scruffy facial hair. And that is incredibly unnerving to me. I don't know who that man is. Like there was a split second of recognition in my brain where I was like, oh, I recognize that person. Who is that? And then it just like, it's just falling out of my head. Like I cannot put my finger on who that is. Holy frick, there are other people. This is actually freaking me out. There are other people inside, and they're not entities. These are not demons. These are not negative influences. These are people. I do not understand this, and it is really freaking me out, and I kind of want to end this video here because I don't know what to do with that. Okay, I'm just gonna say a couple more things that I see and then just be done with this. So the back of his body opens up, it like unzips and it like zips open and zips closed, and it goes all the way from the back of his head all the way down, almost like he's a puppet is the vibe that I'm getting from that. Don't like that. He has two specific very negative entities that are on either side of him that I'm not going to describe, I'm not going to name, and I'm not even going to talk about what I think they're doing for him. Just know that it's very not good. The phrase "he accepted this and chose it" comes to mind. So this is something that he is aware of. I don't know how much of him is in there, like mentally and cognitively and consciously, when these other things are happening. Yeah. He is covered in signs and symbols of things that I am not going to describe. Once again, I'm not going to describe them and I'm not going to look at them, but like I said at the beginning of this video, he has freaked me out from the first second that I saw him. Before I had any context, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know if he was an actor or a singer or whatever. The very first time I saw his face, I was like, whoa, who is that, right? And the more that I'm looking at him, the more that I feel like I shouldn't. So I'm gonna leave it at that and just say this is a very unsafe man, And if you ever have the chance to meet him, don't. maybe go the other way. He is somebody that I would not trust to be in my energy. And I also have had the thought before that I think he is also an energy vampire, and that is part of what is sustaining him through his life. I didn't realize this video was already 5.5 minutes long, so I'm going to call it there. This one was a weird one for me. Yeah, thank you for watching.